Good way to start this video in a dark alley. Oh wow, 4 people. Sorry, YouTube has these new like options, and I chose an option that was not very useful. So sorry about that. Let me see if I can't get this over a little bit. Oh man, I'm trying to figure out how I can position this so that that thing isn't in the way. Well, let me see what else I can do here. See if that works. Over to the side. Hey, what's going on, everyone? It like asked me if I wanted to age restrict this video, and I'm like, no, I'm not doing that because I have people that are under 18 that watch this. It's like, well, you won't get any ads. I'm like, I don't give a fuck about that. Yeah, actually, we're not in the middle of the woods, but it looks like it. Yeah, that's there's some saw palmetto there and a scrub oak. We're actually at my mom's place, her new place, which you guys haven't seen, but yeah, I figured you guys didn't want ads anyway, so I don't really care for them. All right, let's do that. I know it's been a while. I'm actually in a new vehicle. I still have the Ridgeline. This is just another vehicle. Bobby knows what it is, but let's see if anyone can guess. If someone could actually guess. Yeah, she's doing a lot better, actually. She can walk around in a walker. She has her own room, and she can just, yeah, you can see this place is a lot nicer than the other places, gated. Yeah, those palm roasts. I have some pictures. I don't have any more video at the moment. Oh no. I had a Wawa iced tea and where'd it go? I think it's on the roof. Let's see if it's still up there. Sweet. It's still up there. Alright. Alright, so I'll give you guys a glimpse of the interior of this vehicle. So you can see it has a leather interior. But I'll give you guys a view of the that's what it looks like. I can't tell you the make, but I can tell you that they did make this car in Australia, at least until 2005. Hey James, what's going on? Dylan, everyone, sorry I didn't say hi. I was trying to figure out how this... Florida has not been burning hot. It's only 72 degrees right now. It's going to get down to about... I'm actually heading to Cape Coral, if you can believe it. I'm going to be there in about an hour, but from then, now until then. Yeah, it's been pretty nice. It was a little chilly this morning. It was like 53. But, see, my mom has a gated place now. And it's in just, everything's just nicer about it. I would show you guys the interior, but not allowed to film in there. 48, actually, doesn't sound that bad for Midwest right now. All right, let's get onto the road. If I don't see your guess, unfortunately, Bobby, you're not eligible for this because I already told you what it was because I asked you some questions about it. The window, the driver's side window was broken, and I got it. I mean, it wouldn't go up or down. I put the new window regulator in. Next week, Cocoa Beach. Sounds good to me. But Bobby, I'll send you some stuff just for helping me out with this. It's got 152,000 miles, or around 260,000 kilometers, I think is about what we're looking at as far as, or 250, something like that. But I'm actually getting new tie rods put on. I got them in the trunk. My friend, Alan, my sister's boyfriend, his best friend works at a Toyota dealership in Sarasota, and he's going to do it for me for like half the normal price. So we are heading down 41 now. There's a big line of cars which I want to get ahead of. So I'll tell you this. I'll tell you some things about it. It has a leather interior. It's a larger sedan, and it has a 3-liter V6 engine in it that puts out 200 horsepower. Hey Bob, what's up? I was gonna wait till a little bit later to head out, but I just wanted to get the traffic now. You'll see the traffic is noticeably different than it was last time I was, because of the people that are down here now. I might get Culver's, but Pollo's open, till 11, so I might be getting Pollo. They have a new churrasco steak, which is really good. But I'm probably going to end up door dashing for a little bit when I get down there. Because this is the car that I use to DoorDash in, so yeah, me too. That's why, I wish I had more trips. I haven't left the town. I haven't left this town in a month, so. It was 72 there. I'm leaving Venice. It said it's 70 now. It'll probably go down to like 68 in Northport, and then get back up to around 72 in Punta Gorda. So we're heading south on 41. I can tell you it has dual power seats. It has a sunroof, moonroof. It's older. It's older than some of you that watch this vlog. Give you guys a little bit of a view. Like, that's what the radio looks like. Sorry. The radio, newer vehicle. And I paid $1,300 for it. US. Gives you an idea of this will give you an idea of the age of it. Runs great, no oil leakage, no leakage of anything. New tires, new alternator, new battery. A Klugar. I don't know what a Klugar is. I do know what they call this vehicle in Australia, and it wasn't a Klugar. I know, I was gonna make one today, James, but I just got stuck. I had to do a little bit of work for a watcher of the channel, and a couple of them actually, and then I just laid down for a bit, and now I'm going down to the Cape. Yeah, they don't make the Toyota Klugar in the US. I don't know what that would be considered in the US, but if I told you what it was called in Australia, they actually called it this in both the US and Australia. Wow, 6 Fahrenheit. We're talking so much about this car, watch it break down on me. It's actually quieter than my Ridgeline. That is pretty good that is pretty good up there in Atlanta. It says it's only 69 degrees here. This is a much colder spot, as some of you may know, well, most of you probably know this. Cold air sinks, so as we approach the river, you get what's called the foggy bottom effect, where the cold air sinks towards the river, even though there's not much elevation change. No, it's not a Nissan Skyline. They don't import. You got to get them specially imported in the U.S. and then very expensive. No, Sable, Louisiana is just Sable minor variation. Louisiana is really what it's called. So, rain coming through. Yeah, we don't. This time of year we'll get rain like once every 2 weeks, and then it'll chill. It'll cool down, but it's supposed to actually warm up a bit. It's supposed to be like 60 tonight in Cape Coral, high around 80 for the next week or so. Not going to be down there for a week, but excuse me. It's actually not that bad. Well, that sounds about what my dad is dealing with in Vermont. I can't tell you. Well, okay, I'll tell you guys the year. I guess it's not fair. It's a 1999 model year car, so it's old. It's 20 years old. And they still make this model. The company still makes this model. You can tell it's old because it says unleaded fuel only, and cars these days don't say that anymore. Because up until I think 91, you can still get leaded fuel, which is pretty savage. Leaded fuel is so bad. Oh yeah, that was the Jag. That thing sounded fine. Yeah. You have a Bluetooth screen you put on there, like a touch screen, or was that a newer Jag? Yeah, the audio seemed fine. It sounded like you were talking out of a phone. I didn't know you. I think you mentioned Bluetooth after the fact. But yeah, E85 or Flex Fuel or yeah, Australia gets some really cool vehicles. They get most of our vehicles, but they also get a lot of cool stuff from Asia, like the Skyline. You guys get the Nissan Patrol, which is like a cooler version of the Nissan Armada, in my opinion. You guys get the Toyota Hilux or Helix. Is it Helix or Hilux? That's right, Dan. It's a Toyota Avalon. But after 2000 and later, they called the Toyota Orion, and then they got rid of it after 2005. But they made it. Now it's Toyota's flagship sedan. I mean, the options in this car, a lot of them are outdated. Like it has it has a cassette player in it. So I remember when I was in high school, like I thought these cars were so cool. Like one of my friend's parents had one, and I was like so excited to ride in it. Let's go there, buddy. Jesus. I feel like the 1990s was like not the golden age of cars in general, but there was like a little bit of a golden age where things were like just really reliable and affordable. And then things got more expensive in the 2000s, but not as bad. In the 2010s, things just got like, there's too many regulations now. I really didn't have much of an opinion on cars until I started driving in a couple of my buddies' vehicles, and I realized just like that Dodge Ram there, like it's a nice vehicle, but the reliability is so bad in those things. Like a lot, like he has one with like 30,000 miles, and like things are like starting to break on it, like the plastics and stuff. If I had 30, I mean, this thing, like, the dash is not cracked. The paint is still pretty well intact. It's got chips in the front, but there's no rust or anything. Okay, sounds good, Bob. I may not see every comment because we got high volume traffic going on, but I'm going to try. It's got an auto dimming mirror, so this guy's writing me, but I don't feel the effects of it. So nice. I can't roll down the someone already got it for God, this guy's just brightening the hell out of me, and he's tailgating me. Hold on. Yeah, the auto dimming mirror is nice, and it's like clear as day. I can stare at it all day long and not get blinded. You guys can see is how much traffic there is on the road right now. Sorry, searching for something here. There we go. Hey, you want to move to Fort Myers, huh? Oh, I'm glad to hear that. Just make sure you move to the right part of Fort Myers. Oh, you work at Airstream? No way. Oh, yeah, and New Camp? Dude, New Camp made the RV I used to have. I love New Camp. And I love Airstreams. He probably even more. That's awesome. Yeah, I had a tab, what was it called? The S Max? No. What do they call it? The CSS. That's what the model was called. In 2018, they changed it. It was what they would call the 320, but the 17 model I guess was called the CSS. But yeah, it was essentially the 320. It had the clamshell outdoor kitchen, which actually worked out really well. Ashley and I would sleep in that thing in Miami. We'd park it into the. We used the shower. We didn't use the toilet though, just because pretty small toilet, and we didn't have a septic plug-in at the moment. Pretty small. God, why is this guy? Sorry, the truck behind me is just like he's erratically accelerating and then braking off and accelerating, and he isn't keeping any sort of speed. The most affordable area near Miami. I mean, there's a lot of affordable areas, but they're not safe. The best like safe affordable area is going to be like Homestead, really, like the Redlands. That's cool, man. Yeah, there actually, I don't think there's any RV dealers on the East Coast south of Stewart because of the hurricane issue. See, this guy just rolls up behind someone, just tailgates them. And Brighton, and they're both tailgating each other, so one guy steps on the brakes. Homestead, I'm talking about Redland more than Homestead, but it's cheaper than, I mean, I used to live in Pinecrest, which is a pretty expensive community, so to me, like, it's a lot cheaper than that. Jesus Christ. Yeah, Stonewall, that is a nice area. It actually gets quite cold there, though. It can drop down to the 20s there on an almost yearly basis, depending on where you are. And it's so low and swampy. I looked in that area, and, there's cheaper land, but it's hard to get power and stuff there. Yeah, Redland's fairly rural, but they're making Chrome 4 lanes there, the road on the edge of town, and they're going to build all the way out to Chrome. So all that farm stuff's just going to kind of be merged in with some suburbia. There's just so many people in the Miami area that I would never want to live there again. It's just way too crowded. This is crowded enough for me. I prefer to go less crowded, personally. right, sounds good. No, it's not worse than Chicago, but Chicago has more, built more upwards. Miami is more spread out, but then it stops, and you can only build so far west until you get to the Everglades. They're going to continue to build and build, but I think that people in general are just worse drivers in Miami than they would be in Chicago. I don't think they're as experienced. This thing sounds like it's just got either a bad muffler or just like a poor quality one. Yeah, I mean the problem, I lived in Miami for like, almost a year, and some parts are really cool. Like, if you want any kind of food, it's basically there. A lot of different things to do, but the traffic is so bad, and the quality of like, everyone just kind of acts like a stranger to one another, and it feels very like, I felt very alone there, even though I knew people. So that makes any sense. Yeah, if you use a blinker in South Florida, like, people will prey on you. We use blinkers here, but yeah, there's no sense of community, and there isn't much here either. Venice has some, but like we're in Northport, there's really no sense of community because there's a lot of people that only come here for, maybe transient, or everybody's from elsewhere. And people in Venice, there are some people that are actually from Venice, and there's mom and pop shops, where Northport's kind of all chain stuff. There's very few mom and pop places where people go and do things, and it doesn't have that sense of community. And I think that's a problem throughout many cities in Florida. So doing pretty well with the lights so far. I didn't see them because for some reason they didn't show up on my phone, James. Maybe I did see them. Maybe they eventually showed up. Sometimes I just I don't know why, but my phone just won't upload certain files. Nice. That sounds a lot healthier than what I'm probably going to eat. Hey, Chris, what's going on, man? Good evening to you. This Dodge pickup behind me, he just won't go away. He's like a fucking cockroach. I didn't realize this, but there's actually, if you go to South Florida Palm Society, there's actually a link to a number of my videos about certain species, like Sabinaria and Licuala cordata. I didn't even know that. I kind of Googled my name just to see what would happen, and it just linked it. It was kind of cool to know that they actually. Yeah, I know. And he said he wasn't going to drop below 20 the whole winter, and it's a month before winter, and it's, I was willing to bet a ton of money on that too. Yeah, the flying cockroaches, Dylan, are actually palmetto bugs. They're a whole different, I don't know if they're different genus of insect, but they're not as disgusting, but they are much more invasive in the fact that they can like take down a palm. We just call them palmetto bugs. I don't know what their actual name is, but yeah, we're hitting all the good lights here at Toledo Blade. Okay, new lawn guy. Crap. That one guy, depends on what species. If it's a more woody trunked palm, it's not gonna affect the palm very much. In fact, if you look at some palmettos that are in some areas that are well landscaped, you'll see that the bases have actually been weed whacked to hell a lot of the times. But if it's a crown shafted palm that's younger and it's whacking into like the growth point, then that could be a big problem. Or if it's a clumping palm, like I've seen people like, take hedge trimmers to, arecas and they look ridiculous. Even Ashley's dad did that, and I was like, what are you doing? This is not how you cut these. But, you know, I can't, I like, if you know how a palm, something grows, you should trim it accordingly, I guess. So, I almost got rid of the Ridgeline. I went to the Honda dealership twice to see my buddy. Once I was gonna trade in for an Accord, and once I was gonna do a lease on an Accord because I just wasn't like moving a lot of plants. And the second time I actually looked into getting a Civic Type R that was in the showroom floor on a lease. And I was like, you know, it's a hatchback. I can put some plants in it and I can go real fast. But Ashley doesn't want me to get a manual because then she can't drive it. And I was like, I don't want you driving this car. I don't think you can handle it. I still have the option to get it, but it's kind of pricey. They always say you can't drive your house, but you can sleep in your car. There's definitely plenty of room to sleep in this car. Oh, I not plenty of room for an SUV, but for a sedan, it's quite nice. I would like to. There's the top of the line Accord actually offers ventilated seat, meaning like it air conditions like your back. It's like when you're driving and it's really hot out, you know, you're getting AC to the front of your body, but your back is still kind of like, you know, pasted to the seat. And I think it's a great idea because not only does it have like, you know, there's openings there, but they're blowing cold air. I personally like air blowing throughout my body. I'm not going to get graphic about it, but you know what I mean. And we were just rolling through Port Charlotte here. This is craziness. Especially this time of year. Then again, oh, I can smell pizza. Ooh, WRX. Or it's a Prez at least. I don't know if it's WRX. Bobby, I don't know if you're still on, but I know you're a Jag guy. But have you seen the new Jag SE? I mean XE. What's it called? The SV Special. The Special Operations or SV Special Operations 8 sedan. It's the fastest four-door sedan to go through the Nürburgring. It did it faster than the Huracan did, which is like insane because the Huracan's like number 3. Whenever I drive past a Verizon dealership, it gives me this notification. Oh, I didn't miss all. Sorry, guys. Okay, so Klugar is kind of like an SUV. Yeah, okay. That's we call them the Highlander here in the U.S. Smell a lot of burning oil. Sorry, guys, I didn't scroll down. Wholesale cold hardy palms. Stonewall, what area are you looking in? Oh yeah, no problem, James. Sorry, guys, I didn't see all these notes. A shell ginger. I don't know what that is. Still protected. Sorry, guys, I was talking in a tangent, and I didn't. Sometimes it doesn't auto scroll down for me, so again, I apologize. Yeah, that makes sense, Hermes. You saw the Jaguar XE in purple, the XE Sport 8. They only made 60 of them for the U.S. 75 on the West Coast. Okay, so if you're talking about this area, cold hardy palms. Well, what's his name? Chris has a nursery that he's building. I don't know what size of plants he has. You can talk to him about that. Mike Evans, which is West Coast Tropicals, is in Seminole, which is just west of St. Pete. As far as other cold hardy palm dealers, Oh, if you want to send me an email, I can give you his name because I don't want to give her phone number out on like live YouTube. But her name is Faith Bishock. She's my mentor, and she's in east of Sarasota, an area called Nyaca, and she has a lot of cold hardy stuff. And she's more of just like a very laid back, easy person to work with. Not really a business person, just an enthusiast who also has a nursery going. She doesn't really need. I mean, she's retired. She doesn't do it for the money. She does it for the love of the plants, which is the best kind of grower. You like Nyaca? Yeah, I mean, she'll show you around. She lives in an area that is airplane friendly. You can actually taxi your airplane on the roads there. I've never seen that before. Known her for 15 years. Okay, sounds good, man. That is a big dually. I think lifted trucks, they look cool, but man, their function is pretty useless, especially around here. Like, we don't live in an area where to go through like 5 feet of mud. Hey, Eric, what's going on, man? Nyaca's nice, but it is a little bit chilly. It can get up to 10 degrees colder than Sarasota. So you have to realize if it's going to be 35 in Sarasota, it's likely going to be in the mid-20s in old Nyaca City, that area. Nice. I'm glad that seeds are coming up from Virginia. Survived 25 degrees. That's surprising. I've seen them die outright at 28. Like, didn't even try and jump back. Usually 30 is kind of like the. Wow. That's impressive. Try to get some seed off that because of no frost. Okay. That might have helped out a little bit in keeping the leaves alive for a longer period of time. I'm assuming it burned, though, Stonewall. Were you already at Edgewater? Wow. Or at Hancock? Close enough. They were seedlings. You may have had like a little warm area around there, because a real big one may not have survived that sort of situation because it was more out in the open. No, sables aren't illegal in Hawaii, but they don't grow a lot of Caribbean stuff in Hawaii because it's so humid all year round. Where most sables like having a dry period like this time of the year, and like sables don't do that well. Copernices don't look as nice. Pseudo-phoenix don't do very well. Brahias don't do well at all. Cocothrynax, really not that. You really won't see many of those in Hawaii because they like full, blazing sun and more water at the base. Even Bismarcks sometimes can suffer in Hawaii. They usually look fine though. They want a ton of heat. They're some of the most heat-loving plants. A lot of times when I have a lot of seed of a plant, I'll offer to bigger distributors than I am, bigger wholesalers. And one guy there just didn't want any Caribbean seeds. Like, I just can't grow it. He's like, I can, but they damp off so fast. Yes, desert palms do well in certain parts of Hawaii that have low rainfall. Like, I have a friend who lives on Kauai, and he has a property. His house is in the wet area, but I'm sorry, his house is in the dry area of the island, but his nursery's in the wet area. So he can grow pretty much anything he wants because the wet area is also a little bit higher in altitude. Not enough to where you can't grow coconuts, but they don't have that. It's like 1,500 feet. So you can get away with pretty much anything he wants to grow. Yeah, Zach, what's going on, man? Raphia farinifera. I had one of those in the backyard of my mom's old house. It's probably still there. It's probably 30 feet tall now. It is nice there. You do have to realize that growing, for me, a lot of times growing palms is a challenge I like to accept. And in Hawaii, it's so easy to grow plants that you almost don't even have to try. I mean, I see people that literally just like make divots in the ground, drop a plant, cover some soil on it, and the plant just takes off. Doesn't matter what it is. 60 right there right now, huh? See, it was 68 in Northport, but it's 73 here in Punta Gorda. It's warming up. Everywhere in the eastern half of the U.S. pretty much. 41. Stonewall, you're in South Carolina or? Yeah, it definitely is. Yeah, that's true. Hawaii has a perfect climate for human life or plant life. You know, like New Jersey. Okay, that's it. You know, when it's like the high of 82 and a low of 68 every day, like that's like perfect. Like you almost don't even really need AC. Yeah, I've known Chris from his New Jersey days. That was over 15 years ago. Rahway. I wish I could bring you guys along on like a DoorDash thing I do, but because I need the app to run, it will not run with the video, or the video will run with the app, I should say. Yeah, I saw those pictures of those places destroyed by Olga. The most rain I've seen from a hurricane since Irma was Tropical Storm Nestor's outer bands, like way outer. What is this guy doing? You go do that, boy. He's like, I really need to go tailgate this truck, so let me pull over here. People will do that where they don't realize. This happens on the interstate. I've seen it, you know, in New York, but they know what they're doing there. Here, they're just like, oh my God, there's my street. I need to pull over 3 lanes and turn left, and you turn in, you know, in the middle of traffic on a red light. 16 people, wow, that's impressive. That hasn't done 16 people here in a while. Thanks everyone for watching. I hope this is entertaining for you. All these car dealerships, I didn't bring my truck, but I should have. Hey Mercury, what's going on? I've got something of yours in this car. Yeah, we're old school from back in the day. Chris knew me when I didn't really know much about palms at all. I mean, I knew a little bit, but I didn't know like anything about rare plants. Oddly entertaining. I like that. If I'm oddly entertaining, I'll take that all day long. For example, my dentist is over here on the right, in case you want to know. Best dentist in Punta Gorda. I'm sorry, best dentist in Charlotte County. Or probably, you know, one of the best in all of Southwest Florida. He's not cheap, but he's good. And he's also a plant lover. He has cycads and palms. I have bartered palms with people at a pawn shop for miscellaneous items, tools, you know, other stuff I'm not going to get into because I don't want to get controversial. Dental work, I've done it for gift cards. I had a Chili's manager who had a big affliction for palms. You think I would be good on? I would love to do talk show radio, or you know, yeah, radio. Obviously, I think radio would be the best for me. I know I'm waiting for you to turn 18, Zach, so that I don't have to worry about censoring things to you. Not that I want to send you a bunch of like adult material. I just sometimes I feel like I can't say certain things. I'm glad that I don't mind being called odd or this being called oddly entertaining. I have no concern about being normal whatsoever. If someone was like, "Yeah, you're a normal person," then I would actually take that as an insult. I mean, not like a bad, not like I'm gonna get angry, but I'd be like, that doesn't mean that's not really what I'm going for. We're here in the Avalon. We're nice and comfortable. We got the full size sedan. I can put 5, 6 people in here, maybe 7 if someone wanted to lay down on everyone else's lap. You know what I like about this Avalon? It's like, say I'm in a shopping mall, right? It's a long shopping mall. It's going to be like a quarter mile long. I don't want to put my seatbelt on right away. It doesn't judge me. It just has a little blinking light saying, hey, man, just so you know, your seatbelt's not on. But just want to let you know, we're not going to beep at you. We're not going to cause all this annoying noises. This is no judgments. Dan, I'm going to send you some seed for guessing the right car. I'm glad to hear that, Roy. Hope you don't mind if I use your real name. I'm going to use your real last name. If I have that right? You can message me later and let me know. I actually have some good seed to send you too. It's perfect for, let's make this light, baby. Yes. Yeah, dude, this thing is so smooth. It's smoother than my Ridgeline. It's smoother than Ashley's Sonata, which is 8 years newer. There's no like everything's just nice. I feel like I'm just sitting on my couch, just driving. It smells like it's that 90s Toyota leather smell that never goes away. I mean, you can take a dump in this car and still smell like leather. I don't know how it's possible, but it works. So, it wasn't 17 there. They're growing fungus. All right, well, I've got more coming. I have intentions of sending you more seed, Zach. The record, I believe, is 20 or 21. I remember I was sitting outside my favorite Thai restaurant, and that's when it happened. Oh, she has an Avalon. Those are in 2000 they totally redid the body. It pretty much had the same chassis, but the body style looks much different than this one does. This one is a little bit curvier. That one's more angular. I do like it. I think it actually got bigger. Yeah, I remember most everyone's names, original names. Not everybody wants to know, they use, a different name for a reason. Yeah. There's a couple Thai restaurants to visit. But yeah, when I do get to Cape Coral, there's no car there. Looks like a cop pulled over a cop. Sounds good, Bob. Oh, Justin Pitts. Trying to rank at Englerai and Biloxi. Do you think you have a chance there? I think that in Biloxi, if you're south of I-10, it's worth a try. I think they are as cold hardy as a Queen, if not a little bit more so. I've heard stories of them surviving 15. I can't confirm that, but people have told me stories. I know that they grow in Houston and New Orleans. And even if they do burn, they will just grow back. They're clumpers. So if you don't mind, a little bit of burn. They're a solid 9 napalm. They might even be further. I've heard, I've heard. Oh, I haven't really had to wait at one stoplight. This is a great trip. You step on the gas, you can't even feel this thing shift. You don't even start to tell. The cruise control, classic Toyota, everything still works. The cruise control, the air conditioning, the stereo. Here we go. Beetle nuts for dinner, man. Yeah, if you're right near the water, you can try and get away with a few more things. I've been to Biloxi, to the casino there. I've been to the IP and the Bow. If you see queens hanging around, I think they're as hardy as almost as hardy as, a canary. And I know those grow there. I haven't driven this car this fast yet. I haven't taken this out on the highway. Oh, I went on the highway one time, actually, for 2 miles. Doesn't really count, but... yeah, when I do get in the Cape Coral, I am going to have to shut off the stream at least for a little bit. Might try and go back on, but that's about 10 to 12 minutes away. But it's nice to know that everyone still wants to come back and talk and heat thatch seats. So they're going to require real high temperatures. One time, this time I actually passed a whole bract of them ripe in Venice on my way out here at the courthouse. I'm not going to mess with plants and government property, but one year I left them in a pot over the winter and nothing happened for like 8 months, and then finally in May they started all popping. But they will pop earlier. They weren't getting. You're going to need minimum of 90 Fahrenheit, 32 to 35 Celsius. I don't know if you guys remember this. This is right where that car passed me doing about 110 miles an hour in the ridge line. It was in the median though. Yeah, the itch comes around. People get worried like, oh, my wife, she knows that I like to buy palms all the time, and she gets concerned. I'm like, well, listen, there are a lot worse things you could spend your money on than plants. I played poker long enough to see what people would do with their money, and it's pretty crazy. This is a pretty uneventful part of the stretch of the highway here. Not really no palms to be seen. There's this road here which just sticks to the dump and it stinks over here. Funny how people go like that guy's probably doing about 85 miles an hour in a Chrysler Sebring. I wouldn't recommend going even 50 in a Chrysler Sebring, but Darwinism. Oh, sorry guys, I didn't scroll and see that you guys were talking. I apologize. Yeah. Yeah, 100 miles makes a lot of difference, man. I mean, 100 miles north of here is, I mean, there's coconuts everywhere in Cape Coral, but you go 100 miles from here and, you're in Tampa, and you don't see coconuts pretty much anywhere. I mean, people might try and grow them, but you don't see any mature ones. I have the cruise on? What happened here? I guess I turned it off. This is like a Japanese Cadillac, except for it's not quite as big as a Cadillac, but it drives like a Cadillac. The steering's a little ambiguous. Can't really hear much. Definitely much more reliable than a Cadillac. I think the speed comes down here. Do I get random shortness of breath once in a while? I still do vape, yes. I have a different vape now. But, yeah. No, I've been vaping. I have, where it's in my pocket. I don't know if it's not like the real loud one. It's the salt vape. It's like a Juul. It's not a Juul, but it looks like one. And when you go to Palms Anonymous, you can tell them that. Yeah, I've gotten shortness of breath. It might be vaping related. I don't have a Juul. I have a similar. I have a similar brand. You lose your car for 28 days. Here, you won't. Your car gets impounded, meaning it gets sent to the like a police lot. You'll go to if you're going how many kilometers? 40. So that's like 25 miles an hour. If it's over 20 miles an hour here, it's considered reckless driving, and you can go to jail if they really want to stick it to you, but they rarely do that. And they can impound your car, but yeah, they can impound it. You can always get it back, but they can't take it away from you. Like they can't like repossess your car. Okay, that sounds right. In New York, they have some pretty strict laws where like your second DUI in some towns, like they can actually just take your car from you. That's why I don't live there anymore. Fred in St. James City. Yeah, I actually was going to buy a bike. My dad's an avid cyclist. Yeah, Tupelo, they'll grow there, even though it's pretty far north, but they should still grow there. I've never been to that area of Mississippi. I've only been to Pascagoula, Biloxi area. So we're only a few minutes out, guys. Just want to kind of give you a heads up. That's good. I'm glad that if I can get more people interested in palms, and then I'm doing what I wanted to do by starting this channel. Ooh, Wink News. I wonder what's going on. That vehicle had a logo on it. Why is this happening? Of course, it's right when I need to turn, so I gotta get back in the lane. Oh well. All right, guys. So I'm basically at Cape Coral now. Once I turn on this road, I'll be in Cape Coral. So, hey guys. So have a good night. And maybe I'll probably be on the way back on Sunday night or earlier, depending on if I decide to stay longer or not as long. Yeah, I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching. Glad everyone's still around. Sorry I haven't been around that much. I feel like a deadbeat dad of sorts. So, all right, cool. Glad you guys are looking forward to more stuff. But until then, I'll see you guys. Alrighty. See ya.